38 lah.
Yeah.
44.
What's 0?
36 plus 12
There's no data value that
is
is
58 leh.
48.
Yeah, you got the
3, 4, 5, 6. The test is one of the only 9 students. That one is just irrelevant information. They're just anything that they were originally planned, right? Are we done? Okay, what's your answer for question 1, part 1? How many of you are still doing? Can you raise your hand? Okay, can we have the answer for question 1, part 1? What's the first quartile? Hotel? 14. Then after that, part 1, median. What is the median going to be, Hui Ming? Sorry, 30.5. So we take 25 plus 36 over 2. 30.5. And then after that, third quartile, you recall what's the answer? 44. And then the range, Jia Hui. Sorry? 49. Okay. And then the interquartile range, Jie Ting, 30. Okay. So I hope that you have arranged the numbers into ascending order before you take the question. Alright. Then after that, for question 2, I will skip arranging them into ascending order. Okay. Then after that, the first quartile. For question 2, that will be 15.5. Median is 26, third quartile is 41. I'll skip the working as well. So range is 45. And then the interquartile range is 25.5. Okay, in your working, please use the full word interquartile range. Right? Don't use IQR. Okay, that one is just in short. It's not an accepted presentation. Any questions? Okay, let's look at continuous data now. Right? So how do we actually represent continuous data? Okay, so instead of listing them out, okay, for continuous data, as I was mentioning earlier, okay, one example is to get the height, okay, of the people in the class. Right? So for continuous data, we can estimate the quartiles from a cumulative frequency curve. Okay, we will not be able to actually know the exact quartile, okay, because we don't actually put them into a discrete manner. Okay, because it's not possible, especially if there's a large number and then the values are ranging so much. Okay, so therefore we will use our cumulative frequency curve, okay, to understand how to find out what is our quartiles and medians. Okay. So in this case, with this curve, okay, it's showing heights of 200 secondary 3 students. Okay, their heights were being measured, right, and then they are plotted onto a cumulative frequency curve. So using the curve, you want to find out what is the median height. Okay, the understanding of median and quartile still hold the same, right? So we have 200 students over here. Okay, like yesterday I already mentioned. Okay, don't always assume that the highest value is going to be the highest frequency. Okay, take note of where the curve actually ends. So in this case, this 200 is okay. So the middle, okay, will refer to the middle person. So 100. Okay. So we look at 100 itself. Okay, 50% of 200, which is 100, and then we will be able to read from the curve, and then after that, tell us what is the data value over here. Okay, so that's why the x-axis is always the data value, and the things we're finding is always the data here. Okay, so in this case, 100 itself, it will point out to here. So therefore, the median will be 159 cm. Okay. Then for the interquartile range, right? Earlier on when we want to find interquartile range, we need Q3 minus Q1. Okay, so we need to also still find out what is Q3 and what is Q1. Okay, so if this is where the middle is, this is where the 50% is, right? Okay, so the quartile will actually Q1 be over here and Q3 will also be here. Okay, because out of this, the left part of the median, okay, the middle will actually be at 50, and then the right part, okay, the middle will actually be at 150. Right? So then after I read from the curve, okay, for the value for Q1 and also the value of Q3. So in this case, Q1 will be 154 cm and Q3 is 166 cm. So the interquartile range, that will be 166 minus 154, 12 cm. Okay, take note that these are data values, there's a unit to it. Okay, so please make sure you write your units as well. As for part C, finding out what is the range. Okay, so the range would mean that it is highest 200, okay, which is 190 cm, and then the lowest, which is 140 cm. So we take 190 minus 140. Okay. So earlier on, okay, I have mentioned that for median, okay, it is 50% of the data. Okay, then after that, for the lower quartile, that's 25% of the data, and then upper quartile is 75%. Okay, so I could actually divide the number of data into percentiles, meaning to say that I divide it into 100 parts. Okay, so this is considered the same as the 25th percentile. Okay, and then after that, over here, this is the 50th percentile. Okay, and then this is 75th percentile. Okay, where did you all come across percentiles before? Your report book, right?
Yeah.
So for 4 years or 3 years, you have been receiving your report book with percentiles inside it. Okay, so until Set 4, then you know how to read percentiles, right? Which is at RD. Okay, we should have taught it in Set 1, right? So part D, okay, we want to find 30th percentile. Okay, so out of these 200 students, we want to find where 30th percentile actually is first. So 30 over 100 times 200 students, we will find that it is the 60th person that will actually be the 200, that will be the 30th percentile. Okay, so we locate where 60 actually is. So that will be here. Okay, and then after that, don't forget to read off. Right, and that will actually be 155. So for percentile, we denote it with a capital letter P, and then the number is at the bottom, 30 for 30th percentile. So that will be 155 cm. Okay. So what does percentile actually mean? so percentiles, in this case, right, okay, the 30th percentile we have found it to be 155 cm. So what it means is that 30% of the secondary 3 students have heights less than, okay, because it is consistent with our understanding of a cumulative frequency curve, whereby the values actually refer to less than, right? Okay, so it has heights less than 155 cm. Okay, so the 30% of the students have heights less than 155. Sorry? Oh, sorry. Let me use this. Okay, maybe at this point you might find that what I'm saying all over here, it seems very easy. Okay, however, right, when it comes to such question, it is very common that people give me this as the answer. Okay, meaning to say that they want to find interquartile range, they take 150 minus 50, give me 100. Okay, they forget that the data values are over here. Right, so I'm just putting out now, alright, don't make that kind of careless mistakes. Okay? Or if I want to find 30th percentile, you also give me answers over here. Okay, so remember, reading the graph is important. Okay, next example 8. Okay, the marks scored by a group of 500 students are shown in the cumulative frequency curve below. We want to estimate the median mark. Okay, so what would the median mark actually be?
300.
It will be 300. You really just made a careless mistake. I just How much is it? Show 300. Check. 250. Where should you be reading? You should be reading at 250, but the answer is 51, right? So highest is 500, middle will be 250. Okay, so the value will be 51, right? Okay. Then after, if I want to find the interquartile range, right? In this case, it might not be that simple to know where exactly is in the middle. You could do some simple calculation. Okay, to find out where is the lower quartile and upper quartile to be read off from. So the lower quartile you read from the bottom, the 1 quarter, right? 1 quarter of 500, that would be 125. Okay, so from 125, okay, you will read off from the graph, and Q1 will be equals to what? It will be equals to 40. And then to read off from the upper quartile, that's 3 quarter of 500, so that will be 375. Read from 375, and your Q3 will be 62. Okay, so therefore the interquartile range that will be 62 minus 40, and so 22. Okay, take note that presentation wise, I did not put in my answer in this manner. Okay, presentation wise, I did not write it like that. So I just do my calculation first. Okay, then after I write down Q1 is equals to 40. Okay, part C, we want to find the 90th percentile. So we locate where the 90th percentile is first, which is at 450. So at 450, that will be here. What is P90 going to be? It will be the 73. Okay, for part D, we want to find out what is the passing mark if 70% of the students pass the test. How will you do this question? We find the 70%, okay, how many students are there first? So 70%, number of students will be 70% of the 500. So 350 students actually passed the test. Okay, but then do I actually read where 350 is and find that this is the answer? I don't know what is it. Is the answer going to be 60? Why? Okay, 350 is over here. Alright, how this graph is meant to be read is that 350 students got 60 or less. But then in order to pass the subject, it is 350 students getting certain mark or more. Right or not? Okay, that's passing, that's the idea of passing. So we will not be able to read where we should not be reading where 350 is. We need to find the reverse, 500 minus 350. So that means 150 students failed the test. So we look at where 150 is. Okay, and then we'll be able to tell right where the passing mark is. Because this will mean that